Welcome to Sheriff's Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7. Join us every week as we talk various aspects of law enforcement and how important it is for the citizens and law enforcement to work together. Now join us for another edition of Sheriff Talk on KWN Live and Local TV Channel 7. Welcome into this week's edition of Sheriff Talk here on KWN TV, and we have a full slate they're not contestants. We were having a game. Yeah, I guess we were having a game show. It'd be contestants.
We kind of won.
Yeah, that's true. Welcome into this week's edition. We welcome back everyone to the show this week. Sheriff Burnett, sorry about your uncle. I think last week that you had a funeral to go to. Welcome back, and we've got a lot of things to talk about this week. I know that your department and the city police department's been involved in a. I don't know if there's a term. I mean, obviously y'all are the detectives down there. I don't know what you would say, but it has to do with social media.
It does. There was a Facebook posting of a fake conversation between officers that work for Dade County Sheriff's Office, and the posting it entailed a money scam and entrapment and things that we just do not do at Dade County. It's not even an option, but. They targeted two folks that are employees here, and they're very good and well respected employees here. That they're unquestionable.
Well, this is another reason that social media should not be trusted.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly.
There's so many good things that can come from social media, but with that comes the bad.
Barry, explain what this lady did.
Absolutely. A Facebook account. Well, we can't say exactly who right this second, but that is being investigated. But a Facebook account created two separate accounts and then created a conversation between those accounts. The problem is that in one of the accounts that they created, they actually misspelled the person's name. I mean, most people know how to spell their own name. So they misspelled the person's name. The mannerisms, the way they talk, nothing like either one of the individuals. And their accounts didn't have any of this present, the real people. So it was a malicious attempt to try to make us look bad, possibly to be used in a defense against an ongoing case.
Well, that would be, we won't get, I mean, I understand it's a ongoing investigation, and I think your department, city police department's working hand in hand with this. We have the story at discoverday.com at the Mountain Valley Independent. It has those posts if you want to go and look at them. They were supplied to kind of show you what you may be looking for. And one of the things that I did notice, and it was also told, that a lot of folks came to the credit of those officers in those posts and said, there's something wrong with this. These are not the officers. Can't be what they're talking about. And I don't know exactly what they said, but a lot of folks said, no, wait a minute, there's something very fishy going on with this.
Yeah, it's very slanderous, Evan, and we're looking to seek charges on the individual who did this, and investigators are looking at this right now. So
we think the officer's going to do that. They wouldn't put it on Facebook.
My goodness.
Of course not.
And most level-headed people are going to say, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show how you can take something that could be good
Yep.
and turn it for not good. And social media is it's a good way to get information out, and talk about it, but you got to be accurate. And a lot of people rush to put something out, may not know the full details, and that's put out things that are not so, and have to go back and, hey, I'm sorry, that's just what I heard. Yeah. And it's social media is good in some respects, but we've seen could be very
The proverbial
disturbing.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is refreshing to see Dade County and people that knew these officers knew immediately, and they came to the Department's defense and the individuals that were targeted, and they told them, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. I know these people. We know these people. And it was completely unsolicited. We hadn't even made a comment yet, and people had come out and called it for what it was. A
And
lie.
hats off to those people that recognized it right off the bat of
Absolutely.
not being truthful and malicious
spoke.
and made up and whatever you want to call it. Well, I knew you had an ongoing investigation, and hopefully y'all can get to the bottom of why this was done and that type of thing. And we won't press you on that, because that, obviously you'll be using that somewhere down the road. But the stories of it, the Mountain Valley Independent, just go to discoverdade.com and you can, as they say, read all about that.
Are y'all having seen an increase in phone scams and stuff? I'm seeing it here the last couple of weeks. The representing herself is Social Security.
We've had some of those cases, not many, Bo, that's
Well,
come
last
forward.
week they called my brother, and they were so convincing that it scared him. He thought he was going to get arrested, and he comes down there, in a tirade, and I'm in a meeting, and my secretary kept calling. And I said, "Tell him I'll be out there in a minute." I didn't know what it was. Finally, I got out there, and he come in there. He said, "Oh, I'm in trouble," and I said, "What?" He said, "Social Security says I'm been indicted on 11 counts of money laundering." I said, "Well, brother, have you got any money to launder?" And he said, "No, I don't." Well, so while he's sitting in my office, the guy calls back
Oh, no.
the second time. And I said, "Give me that phone." He hands it to me, and I said, I told him who I am, and I said, "This is my brother," and I said, "He's sitting here at the sheriff's department," and I said, "If you want to arrest him," I said, "come down here and get him. He's sitting here." and this guy's got an accent that I'm trying to be nice, that I couldn't hardly understand it.
It's foreign, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking for the right word. But it scared my brother. And I kept saying, "Hey, they don't do that."
Not
And
real.
And he said, Sheriff Burnett said, your brother's sitting there, said he's in trouble. We got 11 indictments of money laundering. And I said, I said, "Come on there and get him." I said, "Where you at?" I said, "I'll meet you with him." I said,
Brother said, "I'm going, no."
he looked
I'll
at me
meet
like, and I knew it was a scam. And I said, "Hey, I tell you what," I said, we worked cases with Social Security. I said, "They do have detectives." I said, "I agree." I said, "But they have
You ain't one of them.
but they have a federal badge number." And I said, "Give me your badge number." And he says, "William 2834696. And I said,
Boom.
"Whoa, cowboy!" I said, "I can't write that fast." And then he hung up. He hadn't called back. But my brother was convinced that
Yeah.
I said, "They don't do that." I said, we work cases. A few years ago we had a case, and that's when I found out. I didn't know Social Security had detectives. Did you? They've got
Oh,
full-fledged
Sure do.
detectives, and
Yeah.
my guy was working a case that started in Marion County and Chattanooga, and ended up in Nashville. And I just happened to be over there at a meeting and met them there at the restaurant. All my guys was there, and they were going to raid a house. But that's been an ongoing investigation for years. And that's when I first found out that Social Security has their own detectives. I didn't know that, but I've had several calls on it. I didn't know if y'all been having any or not. Social
No,
Security.
not.
Lately.
I don't know about an increase, but I've bought my 17th vehicle warranty.
Oh, my gosh.
17 of them are vehicles I don't even own.
We're laughing about it, and it is kind of very comical. But there's people out there that actually fall for that,
Yeah.
and I can see
It's
somebody.
But you know what's bad about when I was talking to this guy? I could hear people talking in the background. It's like
like
Call
a call
center.
center.
They put they rent a room about this size and put 50 people in there, and they've all got little cubicles. Stuff. And I finally told him, I said, I can't hear you for all your other people talking, you know. And he said, oh, well, this is a Social Security administration. Yes, there's other people in the room. But that was funny when I said, well, come and get him. He's here. He's in
Probably
custody.
those 11 indictments, if he'd have followed through, if you'd have said, well, how can he take care of that? And he'd probably
Money,
said, well,
money.
if he'll go ahead and give us $1,500, I'll get
That's
all
right.
these taken
And
care
I
of.
really,
And green dot cards.
and I really
Walmart
believe
card.
that if he hadn't been able to talk to me, that he would have run and done, because he was convinced.
Yeah.
said, Brother, I said, money laundering. I said, have you got any money to launder? And he said, no. I said, I said, it's a scam. I said, but he was in a panic.
You know, Sheriff, we sit here and laugh about that, but there's people like
They
say
take it
that
very
fall
serious.
for it.
that have fell for it, and we had him in our county
You don't
fall for it and give away a lot of money.
And people don't understand it. They won't know why we can't do anything about it. This is a worldwide problem. It ain't
Yeah.
just in
And
Dade
they're
County,
probably not
America.
going to be in America.
No.
They're not going to make that phone
They're
call.
going to be down in some foreign country, sitting in a, like I said, they'll have 50 people sitting in, and all they're doing is calling.
And they only have to be right one time.
That's right.
Right.
They could make 50 calls a day, and they'd be right
If they get
one
two
time.
people, I mean, there's,
Yeah, I picture them with a list in front of 100
Right.
people, and they call
Right.
just go down the list
Right, go
until
down
they
the
get
list.
somebody that falls for
Well,
it.
they do attack them. They get them.
Oh,
they
yeah.
knock them off their feet on
Yeah.
verbally.
Folks,
Yes.
if you have anything you're not sure of like that, a scam or anything that you suspect it could be, somebody's asking you for money, call us or Marion County Sheriff's Office.
Please don't send
Don't.
money to
Right.
call or come and see us, because
Not
nine
at all.
times that
No money over the
Social
phone is
Security, if
probably
you're
just-
gonna have a problem with Social Security, you're gonna get a letter.
Oh yeah,
will.
and it's going to
IRS,
be
you're gonna get
it's
a
going to
letter
be a long
certified.
process
Right.
and
It's
everything.
just
We're going to talk more about this, but I think we need to take a break. Our first break here on Sheriff Talk. We'll be right back. Back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. I want to bring up a little bit of a subject that y'all are very, very familiar with in the respect of why you cannot prosecute the majority of these type of scams, because the callers are in countries outside the United States, but they're also in countries that don't extradite back to this country for crime.
well, a lot of those countries don't have very efficient law enforcement either, so they're not going to.
Yeah.
This probably falls within the jurisdiction of FBI, and
once they get a whiff that you're
Yeah.
on their case, they'll end up moving their business somewhere else or shutting it down.
If they think he's going to get on, they'll just move everything out and they're gone in a day. So
Change phone numbers.
the best defense I've found is education. Don't fall for it. Call us before you don't send money. Call us before you do something like that.
And I think that you hit on something when you were talking. They're very persuasive.
Very.
I mean, they're very
Well, I mean,
persuasive.
I've had calls
their
on
phone.
my department phone. I had and it come up Department of Justice, and I said, and I thought somebody, from Department of Justice wanted to talk
Well,
to
I
him
mean,
about a
calling the
grant.
sheriff, that's probably a
And
legitimate
I said,
call.
hello, and he said, this is so-and-so from Department of Justice, said your name has come up in the grand jury indictment, and it sounded real efficient. And I said, it has? And I said, yes. And I said, out of what, I had enough knowledge. I said, well, what federal district did this come up in? And then he couldn't answer the question. And I said, oh, it's a scam. And I finally said, well, come on down here and arrest me. I said, I'm standing here. I said,
I'll be down
I'm
at the
at
jail if
sheriff's
you want.
I'll
office.
be at the sheriff's department. And I said, just come on down here.
I'm sitting here with my brother.
But that-
Get both of us.
This back about a year ago. But it didn't scare him, and then he kept saying, well, $300 will take care of this. And I said, buddy, I'm not sending you $300. I said, come and arrest me. I said, I'm here. Me and my lawyer standing right here now. Come on down here. And then, of course, but I mean, I forgive me, but I've cussed them and everything, and it don't deter them. All they'll say, I had one officer, this lady kept saying, $300 take care of it. $300 take care of it. And I said, lady, I ain't sending you $300. I said, it don't deter them at all. They don't care if they are talking.
Well,
about
yeah, a lot of them, they only
they
got to
know
be
we
right.
can't really do anything
Right.
about it. But
You know the sad part?
I don't mean I can't give them a good cussing.
The
And
sad
I do. I get belligerent with them quick.
The sad part about it is it works
It does
Or they
work.
wouldn't
It works,
continue.
or they wouldn't continue it.
Well, if you think about $300,
Yeah, if they did that 10
just
times a day.
if they did it 10 times a day out of 100 phone calls,
Right.
Yeah.
they $3,000 is not a bad payday.
day.
You know, they come up with scams that I never would think of, and the one about having relatives in jail, that's been used a lot in the last couple of years. 'Cause I'd go down to this older couple, and they called me and said their nephew's in jail, and they're fixing $500 to Atlanta, Georgia, to get him out. I said, well, wait a minute. So I go down there. They don't live far from the jail, and it's their nephew, and they're got their checkbooks out, and I go do this. And I said, have y'all talked to him? No. Well, I actually had his phone number, so I got the phone out, and he answered. And I said, hey, you in jail? And he said, no, I'm on a lunch break at work. I said, talk to your uncle. And they were almost ready to send that money.
Mhm.
If I hadn't run down there, they would have sent it.
Well, they prey upon your weak points.
They do.
Yeah.
You do anything for your kids, your nephews, you do anything for them.
I'd say
And they
just
prey
like in
upon
law enforcement, they have training sessions that they train on how to scam people
they know-
and
they
commit
know-
crimes.
They can detect weakness and in a hurry to get it resolved, so
Yeah.
they feed off of that.
I had one person that the caller required them to keep him on the line while he drove to Walmart to get cards. He walked him through the entire process and kept him on the phone to keep it going.
to keep
it going.
keep him on a track.
That's right.
to
That's
get
right.
that
And if
money.
he said, "Well, I need to," no, you just need to do this and get this done, and he just it was horrible. And the gentleman did send some money, send quite a bit.
That's really sad. So, do not. There, I don't know of any, even if they're legit, do not ask them to send it in writing. Tell them you'll meet them at the sheriff's department if they've got a warrant on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mentioned you've had people, show up down there and say, "Hey, this guy says they got indictments on me." I told them, "Meet me here."
Oh, yeah. And we've got, I've got myself checks come in,
you got
certified
one
mail.
last year.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
one last year. My daughter's got one. I know other people at the office has got one. If you go cash that check, you're going to be responsible for the money. So
We had
that's a
to
scam
help
too.
some people a couple weeks ago with a scam. I never heard of this. They sold their car online to a guy up in, I think it was Massachusetts somewhere, where they met him halfway and he gave him a check and took the vehicle. Well, as soon as he gave him the check, first thing he did, called the bank and had the check stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a month to get the truck back. I finally, I had to get my detectives to call this guy and threaten him that we were going to file charges on him, and he finally got the car back and everything. But I guess what I'm trying to tell you is be real hesitant, because I know people that's met people in Atlanta places that sell a truck and get a money order and get back home and it's a fake money order.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks good.
Or a fake check.
Fake check.
Yep.
Not money. Yeah, fake check, cashier's check. But they brought them down to the sheriff's department and they look good. I mean, they look.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, people try to counterfeit money, and even some of the counterfeit looks pretty real.
It does.
And a cashier's check would be nothing for them to try to counterfeit.
Well, Evan, I'll tell you one thing that's not fake and not counterfeit, and that's Hope for the Holidays.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And that's
That's coming
starting
up. Why don't
October.
we take another break and we'll come back and talk about that. All
Sounds
right,
good.
stay with us. Sheriff Talk continues around the tri-state area. Back after this. Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. Before we get talking about the Christmas, which is always a great opportunity to think about something good in law enforcement, I do want to go back here a couple of weeks ago in Marion County, and you probably heard this. It was on national news. It was a big story in Tennessee, and a terrible story. But Sheriff, walk us through the kidnapping and killings and shootings that took
It
place.
started September 13th, about 8:30 Sunday morning in Manchester, Coffee County. The four guys actually come through here from Georgia, from Atlanta, was going to Nashville, and at some point they got into a fight. One guy pulled a gun, killed one of the guys, and shot another one. Tried to carjack two other people, had shot them. He was successful in getting a car, and then he was 20 miles away when he hit this couple, and the young couple, 24, on their way to church. and hit them in the rear and kidnapped them. Went to their house, made them go to ATM get money, and then took some guns out of the house and took them to the woods and told me he's going to turn them loose. And he let the couple out. When he did, he stepped out and killed the guy. Shot him 4 times in the back in front of her. Throwed her back in the car, rode around for about 3 hours, and he was spotted on I-24 just coming foot of Montego. I guess we had 15 patrol cars there. All the cities sent a car, everybody sent a car, because they knew there was going to be a shootout, because they knew this guy had already killed 2 people and shot 3, and they started chasing him at the Kimball exit, Kimball ramp. He was driving reckless. More cars sitting at Western Sizzling. They said that by that time the traffic cleared out. He had a clear road in front of him, so they pit maneuvered him, and the car went through the medium, and when it come to stop, it rolled over on its top. As the officer approaching, the guy killed himself, and the girl was 4 months pregnant. They had to cut her out. She was upside down, hanging by a seatbelt, so they cut her out. And I talked to Sheriff of Coffee County yesterday. She's doing good. She had transported to Erlanger, but there's no doubt in my mind if this man had got away from us and got to an area where there was people, he would have killed a bunch of people. So, turned out good in a way, and then it's a bad thing in a way too. So
it's a terrible situation, and thanks for your officers for putting themselves in a position.
Because if we hadn't stopped him up there, we'd probably been in Dade County with him.
So they were headed this way.
They were headed this way. He was. He was from St. Louis, so I don't know if he really knew, what to do. But he was. It's funny how it worked out. The person that was going I-24 was going to Cleveland to the academy. He was from Manchester, so he knew the description of the car, and it come by him at a high rate of speed. So he calls 911, and that's how it all got started in Marion County.
You have situations like this happen, and then you hear of these states wanting to defund police officers. And what do they do if you don't have police? And something like this happens. That's the main reason you do not to need to defund the
that would
police.
have been my question if any of them had been there last night. If you defund the police department or church departments, who would have saved this lady?
That's right. And possibly dozens of other people.
Yeah, how many more would he have killed?
He had he took weapons out of this man's house. He had a .223 rifle fully loaded in the bag. Now when we got his pistol away from him, he had a 9mm. He had 1 shell left, and I think he knew the reason he killed himself. He knew that his ammunition was low, but I think if he had a full clip, he would have come out of that car shooting. So,
probably.
But if he got to a location, say at Love's or even down here somewhere, and got out with a high-powered rifle,
Took people hostage inside of.
there's no telling how many people he would have killed. Because this guy was going to kill as many people as he could. So
Wow, that's you never know.
and that's
those
just,
officers.
and that's the reason I've never understood the argument, about some of these national politicians and some of these mayors in these big cities wanting to defund the police department. This stuff happens every day. I mean, it ain't going to stop. I just don't understand it.
I don't either, and I feel for the lady. I mean, she's lost her husband. She's 4 months pregnant. She's been traumatized.
The thing that
I can't imagine.
Oh,
what
can you
she's going
imagine?
through.
I mean, she had to ride around him for 3 hours after seeing him kill her husband.
Yeah.
But the thing that we were on the interstate probably 3 hours, and the thing that I couldn't understand was everybody come by was filming us,
Of course.
trying to catch us
you
on
doing
camera doing something. Everybody. I stood out there, and everybody come by. They had their camera phones out.
That's our culture now.
That's our culture, and that's when it dawned on me. I said,
Well, hats off to your officers, and they, when they came to work that Sunday morning, they had no idea they were fixing to get themselves in that potential situation.
and that's one thing about police work, and anybody who's been in it for a while can tell you. You can be sitting there all calm 1 minute, and then 10 minutes later, you can be in a terrible mess. So
And that's when it happens, when it's all quiet and nothing's going on, and all of a sudden it's
Sunday
just
morning at 8:30.
Yeah, quiet
Did you
when-
think something like that would
exactly
happen?
just like 9/11 happened. Beautiful
Yeah.
Sunny
Mowing
day
with
that
the-
day.
But that's what I told commissioners last night. You know, those people could have had they could have gotten a shootout right here in Dade County because
Oh,
they
yeah,
come
well,
through here,
absolutely.
or Marion County, and it could all happen in our county.
They could have got off the interstate there in South Pittsburgh and went to Kimball. I mean,
Anything.
he could have done. That type of person obviously was not thinking.
And I was talking to
Yeah.
Sheriff of
Rational
Coffee
at
County
all.
yesterday, and he said one of the guys that he shot in the car with him was in Vanderbilt, and he had a stroke, and now he's a vegetable for the rest of his life. So
Oh.
20, I think he's 28, 29-year-old. So
And do you know anything if he or any of the rest of them had a criminal record or?
I think the guy that actually killed himself had a pretty extensive criminal record in St. Louis. Hadn't had anything in. And I haven't. You know, TBI took it over, so I haven't got all the facts on it. I don't know. I think they were going to Nashville to do some kind of record or something, and they evidently got into a big fight or disturbance inside the car. But you never know when stuff like this breaks out.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Was the baby okay too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's law enforcement. I mean, we're going to be interviewing 3 new recruits that you've got with your training officer here in just a few minutes, and that's law enforcement.
They look like they're ready.
Yeah, they're over here waiting in the wings to come on. But and I know that they hear stories that those are real, and it's here. This didn't happen
right.
in Wisconsin. This didn't happen in California or Oregon or
New York.
wherever. This happened in Marion County and just a few miles from Dade
Well,
County.
Within 50, 70 miles.
He killed 2 people, shot 5 people, then killed himself.
And if he hadn't been stopped, he would have been in Dade County. And,
Wow.
Because he was running about 90 mile an hour when they pit maneuvered him.
Well,
I'm glad they did.
on
Evan, you
behalf-
mentioned about the people we got standing over here. Let me give a little credit to Haley Smith, which is our sergeant over the training now. And she's been working with these folks for the past several weeks. I tell you, I can't say enough good about her. Since we promoted her to that position, she's not failed me at all. I mean, I've caught her, and she's now our new PIO. I've caught her a couple of times and asked her, and I don't have to worry about it when it usually took care of before I even asked her.
Wow.
So we are very. I know the head's getting like this, but not really.
We haven't got.
That's all right. Yeah.
But I just want her to know how grateful I am to her
Yeah.
for stepping up and training these new cadets. We have 3 here today. We actually have 4 that's going. The other one's on a detail right now that we're handling, but she's going to come out in a few minutes and with her cadets and tell you what all they've been going through and training. But I just want to give that out to Haley. What a wonderful officer she is. We're very blessed to have her.
As a matter of fact, after we talked about the Christmas coming up for both departments. Both of y'all are going to leave. You've got a place you got to go, and then we're going to have the new recruits on, so it'll be good. Talk to us a little bit about, we're getting ready. We're into that year. September's winding down, getting into October. Christmas is just around the corner.
Yeah, we're starting to take applications for Hopeful Holidays October the
October 1st.
1st, next just in a few days. So if anyone needs help with Hopeful Holidays, the applications will be. Cindy's going to be doing that this year. Mary Ann retired, so Cindy's taking that over, and we appreciate her for doing that. But if you need help, get with Cindy. Fill out the application, and we'll get you signed up for Hope for the Holidays, and helps a lot of kids throughout the Christmas season.
It does. We'll be taking applications from October 1st through the day before Thanksgiving.
Now, are there any parameters?
The ages are going to be 1 to 15. We do not give any electronic equipment or games, phones, or anything like that. We can't do bicycles. We don't do coats or anything like that. It's strictly toys for kids.
And I believe it's based on your income.
And it
too.
is based on your income.
All right. Well, that'll be just around the corner, and I'm sure that you'll be getting you're talking about the PIO officer getting a press release out. on
And
that.
also, our PIO, Miss Haley Smith's training sergeant, was also our Officer of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, she was.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw that from the Optimus Club.
She was.
Sheriff, and I know you got to go, but you also have your event coming up. Have y'all put anything together?
Well, we
as far as-
usually start wide open that thing around the middle of October. We don't have it till usually about 7 days before Christmas. So we send out letters asking for donations, and we take applications, and we'll probably start doing that 1st November. Then we've changed it now. We have all the parents bring the kids to Walmart, and I don't know how we're going to do that with the virus thing. But last year, and had all the officers from the city and everybody show up, and they all get them a cart and put the kids in the cart and let the kids do the shopping. And at the end of it's easy because we get done in 2 hours when before we were weeks getting it done. So then we offer food cards for people that need food. So we spent about I think we spent $18,000 last year. So.
Wow.
I'm afraid it's going to be a lot more this year.
And it very well
Probably.
could be. Well, Sheriffs, both of you, I know you're going to leave us on this segment. Thank y'all, and thank the officers once again. You know, and they all got
Commendations
last
That's
night
good.
in front of the commission in Marion County, and rightfully
14
so.
of
Absolutely.
Rightfully so.
Plus, we included dispatch because they worked good together.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
All that, all that had to
One
be.
team.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Team one aim.
absolutely.
Only bad thing that happened, I was real quick. I heard them. I was on my way over there, and I heard them say, you know, the scene's secure. The guy's killed himself and everything. So I'm in the emergency lane, creeping about 25, 30 mile an hour. I'm getting those. And this trooper come up, Tennessee Highway trooper come up, me running probably 80. And I got over in the grass lane by. Of course, I was in one of my unmarked vehicle and didn't have any lights on. Didn't have my flashers on. And he rolled the window down and gave me a cussing like I've never had. And I'm trying to tell. He's a new recruit.
Oh, no.
And
Maybe these new
Y'all
recruits are
listening?
living with these.
and I'm trying to tell him who I am. You know, I understand the situation because traffic had already started backing up. We was about at Western Citizen. Well, I get over, and after he rolls the window down, I'm trying to say, I'm from Sheriff's Department, you know, and he's going, oh, Lord, I heard, I can't say what
So
all
did
he
you
said.
tell him?
Uh-oh.
Well, he goes on, and I'm, what's the old saying, the rabbit and the turtle? Well, I'm the turtle, you know. And I get there, you know what and I don't want to criticize him, but he's directing traffic. And I said, I pulled up. And here he starts coming at me again, and he don't know who I am. And I finally, we had a cuss fight build the interstate. That he apologized and he tried to shake my hand, and I told him where he could go. And that's the only bad thing about it. And I take some of the responsibility. I'm actually going to put blue lights in my patrol car now, so you know I just don't run that much emergency traffic. And he said, well, he said, I wouldn't done that. And I said, I was trying to tell you who I was.
You wouldn't listen.
I said, you're too busy cussing me to let me tell you who I was.
Uh-oh. Well, you know.
Then
We learned a valuable lesson.
Later on, there's a major from the highway patrol pulls up. Now, of course, I don't know the major. And he come over and he's talking to me, and he said, of course, the commissioner of safety is a previous sheriff of Williamson County. And he said, are you and the commissioner good friends? And I said, oh, we're real close friends like that. He said, but I didn't. Hey, I was in the wrong, so I took my cussing like a man
Well,
went
you
on.
kind of weren't in the wrong.
I was.
Well, you're going to straighten up.
But my point
careful,
to
he's
him
gonna tell
was,
us
you
where
know,
to go.
why risk your life when they've already put out on the radio, hey, the scene's secure, everything's secure.
And you already know you had a dozen officers
You're
there.
20
so,
there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run 100 mile an hour and get myself killed for nothing. And
Right.
Exactly.
I tried to explain that to him, but anyhow, no hard feelings with the trooper. He was doing his job. and I was
Probably
doing
he
mine.
will never handle that situation like that
That's
ever
right.
again.
He will listen
Valuable
first.
lesson.
He probably
Is there a
probably
legal
will.
reason you're driving
You
an
remember when
emergency?
Smoking the Bandit when the Mississippi troopers talking to the sheriff right bad? That kind of reminded me of that. You know?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, before we leave,
Yes.
just want everybody to know, I don't know if they knew or not, but Georgia won this past.
Hey, guess what? So did Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my!
And Alabama, so everybody won.
Yeah,
all-
right.
all the SEC.
Alabama,
SEC
and
won.
Auburn won too.
The
SEC
SEC
won.
played SEC.
I know.
So Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama, and Auburn all won. last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
So there you go. We'll have more sheriff talk coming up. Stay with us. Back to Sheriff Talk here on KWN as we continue. Two sheriffs had to step away, but we've got some new recruits. And before we do that, I want to say congratulations to to Haley, Officer, for your Optimus Club Officer of the Year for the Sheriff's Department.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a very good honor, and I know the sheriff was speaking highly of you before you come on about you're in the training role and also the public information officer.
That's right. That's right.
That is good. Well, I'm going to let you do the introducing because of this segment. You've got 3 new cadets.
We do. We have 4, but only 3 were able to be here. We have 1 that's on a special detail right now. So these fine men and women have been assigned to me for a few weeks, and we've started some just pre-service training, get them prepared for the academy that they're going into. They're going to be doing 408 hours of law enforcement training. So that involves physical fitness. We've done that every other day so far, trying to get them prepared for it. Firearms training, tactical awareness, gun discipline. So down the line we have Miss Marissa Smith with the Sheriff's Office, and they all work in the jail right now. So they were selected out of the jail for this.
Cool.
And then you have Mr. Matt Jackson in the middle, and then you have Kenny Bethune at the, Bethune, Burkhalter at the end. Mr. Burkhalter at the end. So yeah, they've, how long have y'all been in law enforcement? You want to introduce yourselves? How long have you been in it?
We'll start with you.
All right. My name's Kenny Burkhalter. I've been in law enforcement for about 7 years.
Wow.
All corrections.
All here in Dade County?
No, not in.
Okay.
Not in Dade County. And I just, when they approached me with this opportunity, I accepted just because I think I would like to get more experience at it and be able to, further my career.
Well, you interact with the public a little bit more when you're outside than you would on the inside. But I mean, if you've been in corrections for 7 years and working inside, that's a very important part of law enforcement as well.
Yeah. The communication skills you develop inside working in corrections, you're all walks of life and all personalities and people. So it's a big benefit working inside the correction facility before you come out here to the public.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You, sir.
I'm Matt. I go by Jax. Everybody knows me as Jax. I've been doing this correction side for probably 5.5 years, a little maybe around in there. Prison, Georgia prisons, jails, and been wanting to go to the road for a long time now. So I'm glad to be getting the opportunity.
Oh, cool.
I've been at Dade for about 1 year and 4 months, probably in the jail.
Very good.
Love it.
Very good. Officer, what's your story there?
My name is Marissa Smith. I've actually only been in the jail since May of this year. I was in a doctor's office setting before this. I honestly felt pushed in this direction. My gut kind of told me to come this way when the tornadoes hit Easter this year. I just really felt pushed I feel like the community needs more positivity, and that's what I'm hoping to achieve in this job setting.
Well, very good. I want to ask, you live in Dade County?
I do.
Walker County, but it's up on Lookout, so
Right.
close.
Actually, Catoosa County,
Catoosa.
right at the Walker line.
They got a little bit of drive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's working inside the jail, you get a lot of perspective, like you said. Be able to get out on the road and tell us a little bit about what these officers are going to be doing over the next few weeks. When will they go to mandate?
This Thursday they start the official police academy.
Oh.
So they're looking at the 10 and a half, 11-week range. COVID has put a kink in the last class, so the graduation date, hopefully it'll be the full 11 weeks, but they'll be studying criminal procedures. Criminal law is the major factors, and then learning how to drive a police vehicle safely. EVOC, yes, emergency vehicle operations, and firearms. And there's going to be a lot of classroom, a lot of study. There's a lot of knowledge that's going to be dumped into their laps. It's a huge responsibility, but they're also going to be doing a lot of tactical skills, approaching domestics situations, scenario training, active shooter training. So it's a huge benefit and an asset to the agency to get some new officers in, and they're going to be, without a doubt, well trained and come back from the academy, and they'll receive more training to adapt them to the county. So.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you the best of luck. I think it was a great opportunity to be here. You heard some very grim story that happened in law enforcement. That those type of things happen here.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you know it's good that y'all were able to be here when Sheriff O'Burnett was walking through that, and so it was a good day for y'all to come and
Most
and
definitely.
hear that. And then on the other side, we got the you know the Christmas, the hope for the holidays and things like that, and that I think that's what you alluded to, is to be able to make a positive impact.
Most
in law
definitely. We're
enforcement.
here to serve the community, and we're here to interact with the community. It's not all about putting bracelets on people and taking people to jail. We're here to serve and help all of our community members, protect everyone's property. And so there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. So we're trying to, you know, interact in all those programs, hope for the holidays. We actually have one coming up. It's Faith and Blue weekend, if you don't mind me going ahead and speaking on that.
You go right ahead.
Okay, it's going to be October 9th through the 12th, and it's a Faith and Blue weekend. It's bringing community leaders, religious leaders of the community together, working with law enforcement, sharing the ideas of community policing and interacting, and it is faith-based to bring us together. So we're going to be updating that on the Sheriff's Facebook page, website, and we'll give more updates, details. It's going to be on the square in Trenton. So a nice local, centralized place for everyone to get together. We'll have refreshments, and we'll update as that gets closer.
Faith and Blue weekend.
Faith and Blue.
And October
yes.
the 9th, we'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah, it's coming up quick. Yeah.
Matter of fact, 1 week from this coming Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
I guess 1 week from 1 weekend from this coming weekend.
Yes.
I guess is the right thing. Well, if y'all will, we're going to have a break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back as we continue here on Sheriff Talk. Back after this. Back now to Sheriff Talk here on KWN. Got 3 brand new deputies that are going into the post training in Forsyth.
They're actually going to Rome.
Oh, that's right. I keep
Hosted by
forgetting.
Gypstick,
It
yeah.
used to be you had to go south of Atlanta to get
Sure,
trained. Right. I've been there, and that was a pretty neat little place.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't have to travel as far. That's no fair.
I've done my time down there, though.
Oh, you've been to
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Did they do? Where did they do EVOC at the emergency?
They will
vehicle?
go to Forsyth for
Okay.
EVOC.
All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they had
There'll be a
another.
little travel. So EVOC and possibly firearms they'll travel for. So the rest will be at Rome.
Now I know that you're doing a lot of training, and you're certified here to be able to do a lot of the continuing education.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, for all of the officers.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, we just went through the less lethal instructor course. Our agency is looking at less lethal options for our agency, some less lethal weapons. So I think that's a huge benefit. Alternatives, you know, we have alternative, which is usually a baton that doesn't look or feel pretty. And you have tasers, but there's some other less lethal options that we're going to invest in that's going to be beneficial. So those courses, they'll be taught here as well. So.
Well, that is good. I think you're going to see nationwide a push from the governors,
Yes.
you know, down to local law enforcement of some extra training when it comes to de-escalating.
That's right.
You know, instead of, I mean, that's what you're taught to begin with.
Sure.
Is any situation to de-escalate it, and not
Right.
because there's, I mean,
There's more emphasis now on that.
right,
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely. So I think that's great, and it's it's great that you're going to be able to teach it here.
Right. Right.
You know, because, you know, going somewhere, we're up here next to Alabama and Georgia, so anything Georgia-wise, you got to go south.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
know, or
Most of it's
due east.
centralized in Atlanta, so it's a big benefit for the agency and the community, and for money-wise. You know, it's saving money for us to do it here at home. You know.
Oh, cool. Well, it's good to meet y'all. I've seen a couple of y'all outside the jail, you know, around over the last few months, but welcome aboard, and I know you'll be excited to go through the mandate training and get out. And we'll be seeing you on the roads.
That's right.
You know, just don't just be careful how you talk to somebody going down on the interstate. We're alluding to the fact if you just joined us, you need to watch this whole show because Sheriff Bo Burnett. It was a pretty interesting story with the state troopers. So anyway, anything that you want to close with?
I just want to, if you're just now tuned in, the Faith and Blue weekend is coming up. It's October the 9th through the 12th. We'll keep you guys updated through the Sheriff's Office website and Facebook page. And it's community members, leaders, and religious leaders coming together with faith, through faith, on the town square the 9th through the 12th.
Good deal. Officers, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
And look forward to y'all coming back, and she'll have you back on the program, and you can tell us everything you learned.
Yes.
That'll work.
Good war
Hey, we
stories.
thank you very much. We'll be back next week. We'll talk more about the Hope for the Holidays and the application process and everything. I think the sheriff's coming back here. Oh. The sheriff, the sheriff has given him something to sit on.
I'm actually taller than that.
It makes me look big over here. I like it. That's okay.
Oh my goodness! All right, we'll see you next week on Sheriff Talk. You've been watching Sheriff Talk, live from the studios of KWN TV7, all around the tri-state area, as we give you information that you can use concerning law enforcement. Join us again next week for another episode of Sheriff Talk, a public affairs program of KWN TV7.